Yo, what's good YouTube? This is Jay from T&J, and we are here at this trade screen, and let's just take a look at something, man. I'm looking at this trade block, and Josh Tomlin, he's 32, see potential, but he's got 78 overall, but look at his walks per nine, 97, 72 control. He's going to be a pretty under control pitcher. He's 2-0 so far with an ERA of 3.24, 11 strikeouts, which is pretty good. But he's interesting because we do need starting pitching. And you know who's batting so well is Domingo Santana. So he's hitting, 351 right now? So if we sell high on him, we could get some stuff in return. And the reason why we would do that is because Lewis Brinson is on the rise. I mean, he's ready for the big time show. He's ready to make his start here next episode. And Domingo Santana is interesting because we can get rid of him. I don't know who else we could get in this trade, but if we can get like a prospect, some prospect that we might need as, depth or whatever the case may be, we can possibly get somebody. So let me know if I should make this trade. I mean, if we can get somebody, but look, they don't want to trade anybody else. It's interesting though. I mean, let's keep our options open. We just want to get some pitching because our pitching, we're not going to hit for average, very high average. So it seems like we're going to have to win a lot of low scoring games unless Lewis Brinson comes up and the culture just changes and we start scoring runs. But right now we're in probably towards the end of the MLB rankings in offense and pitching. So we don't know. We need some pitching. That's for sure. I mean, you can't win without pitching, especially in the playoffs. So let me know what I should do. This is an interesting trade. I'm only committing 1 year to his contract. So Josh Tomlin, I mean, let me know what I should do. With that being said, let's get into this gameplay. Facing the Cubs on the road in Wrigley, down I-94, Milwaukee to Chicago. Let's get into it. So we're in Wrigley Field to take on the Cubs. The Brewers are 7-8, going against Brett Anderson on the mound. He's 1-0, hasn't given up a run this season yet, so we're going to be looking to add on to that. And in the first inning, Keon Broxton gets a nice low and inside pitch, and he takes it to the gap, and he's going to go into second with a double in the first inning, batting in that 2-hole. Ryan Braun is up next, and he gets a nice pitch to hit, and he ropes one down the right field line. Broxton's going to come in to score. Braun's going to round the bases and get into second base with a double, and the Brewers are going to take an early 1-0 lead in the first. Travis Shaw comes up to add on to it, but he cannot get it done, so the Brewers get out of the first inning with at least one run. Junior Guerra is on the mound for the Brewers. He's going up against this tough Cubs lineup. So the first batter of the game, John Jay, he gets to pop up to the catcher, and he's off to a good start early in the game. Chris Bryant comes up a couple batters later, and he hits one up the middle, but he hits right into the shift. So the Brewers are going to get out of the first inning. Junior Guerra is off to a good start. So the next inning, VR comes up and hits a nice liner up the middle, so he's on base to start the inning. And he's got wheels, so I'm going to be looking to swipe a bag. And Keon Broxton gets up next, and he hits one into the gap just like the first inning, but this time John Jay is going to get to this one. Almost two in a row for Keon. And the next batter is Ryan Braun, but I'm swiping this bag with VR. He led the league in stolen bases last year, so I'm swiping this one. And Ryan Braun hits a nice rope to left field, bringing in VR. VR's running in, and he gets thrown out at the plate, so the Brewers cannot capitalize off of a base hit by Braun. So the next half inning, the Cubs come up to the plate, and they cannot get it done. Junior Guerra is pitching a pretty good game so far. So now we're on to the fourth inning. And he's running into a little bit of trouble here. Walking his man, getting the guy on first. Jason Hayward gets up next, and he gets a grounder to first, and he throws to second, but cannot get him at first for the double play. So Bryant is up next, and our third baseman, Shaw, cannot handle it, so I kind of push my joystick to the right because I think I'm controlling the third baseman. And what do you know? They run into a double, so we got guys on second and third. We're in trouble. And Rizzo gets up, and he drives one in, and the other holds at third. Chris Bryant holds at third, so they got guys on the corners, and Schwarber comes up, and he hits a liner to left field. The Cubs are on the board, and they take the lead 2-1 here. and the Brewers' lead was short-lived. Schwarber comes up in the clutch, and Ben Zobrist is up next, but we get him to ground into a 4-6-3 double play, so the Brewers don't leave with much damage, but the Cubs do get two. The next inning, Arcia comes up, and they're walking him, so I'm butting him over with the pitcher. So Arcia is on second with 1 out, and Keon Broxton comes up with 2 outs, and he hits a nice liner, but the shortstop gets in front of it, throws him out. The Cubs get out of there with no damage done. But an inning later, the Cubs bring in a relief pitcher to face Ryan Braun.
Into this appearance, a swing and a drive sent out toward the gap. Jay looks up. That one is out of here. This game is tied.
Ryan Braun, one of the greatest players in Brewers history, takes one deep, and the Brewers tie it up at 2. And the next inning, Junior Guerra is going to get Rizzo to ground out to the second baseman. He's finding his groove. He's pitching a good game so far. Only 2 runs given up. The next half inning, Orlando Arcia is at the plate, and he hits one to that same gap, this famous right center gap. Looks like the Brewers are finding that gap all game, and Arcia is going to round second, headed to third, and he's going to slide in, and he barely makes it for a triple, and we got guys on third, and we're bringing in Trace Thompson to pinch hit here, and he's going to get a nice pitch down the middle, and he's going to smack one deep to center field. John Jay is back and under it, but Orlando Arcia is tagging up, and he's getting home, and the Brewers are going to take a 3-2 lead late in this game. And Neftali Feliz is going to come on in the 9th for the save. He's going to face Rizzo, who's going to pop up to the first baseman. Remember, Eric Thames is out. So right now we have Jesus Aguilar there at first. So 1 down. Neftali Feliz gets the next guy, Schwarber, to strike out on a fastball on the outside corner. And the next batter swings on a 3-0 pitch. Ben Zobrist grounds out to second. And the Brewers are going to escape out of here, out of Wrigley with a 3-2 victory. Junior Guerra is credited with the win. And what a big game from Orlando Arcia. What a big game from Broxton. They come up clutch. Ryan Braun also as well. He brings in 2 runs. And the Brewers are going to take a 3-2 lead, get to 500, hit subscribe, and we'll be back for Lewis Brinson's debut.